Hey, this is Christine Rose with CEO Excel and Christine Rose Coaching and Consulting. And if you really want to learn how to level up your life, you should be listening to Time to Shine Today podcast with my good friend Scott Ferguson. Let's level up.
Time to Shine Today podcast Varsity Squad. This is Scott Ferguson. We're at episode 337 with my coach that I respect absolutely immensely. Her name is Christine Rose. She's the author, internationally best-selling author. She wrote a fantastic book, which I have a giveaway. It's Life Beyond Me Too. We had fantastic coaching chats on how coaches like Christine really help to level people up. And it was just such a fun conversation. So I definitely wanted you to break out your notebooks because the knowledge nuggets that she drops is absolutely mind-blowing. And again, if you enjoy the episode, please leave a 5-star review and maybe hit the like button if you're maybe watching on YouTube. And without further ado, here's my really good friend, fantastic coach, Christine Rose. Let's level up. Time to Shine Today podcast Varsity Squad. This is Scott Ferguson, and I have my beautiful, awesome sauce, Christine Rose. She's over on the left coast in the beautiful state of Washington, in Seattle. I told a story on another podcast of me catching a fish. It's actually on my YouTube channel there at Pike Street. And it's fun. Me and Christine had such a fun conversation before we came on. She has some awesome giveaways at the end. But Christine Rose from Christine Rose Coaching and Consulting is an international best-selling author, speaker, and coach. Forbes Coaches Council Member, that's big time. Certified Value Builder Advisor, Certified Core Values Coach, and Certified Psychological Safety Coach. She's been featured on Forbes, Public Interest Radio, and National Business Radio. She coaches CEOs to grow leadership, effective teams, and high-value companies. And Christine, thank you so much for coming on. Please introduce yourself to Time to Shine Today podcast Varsity Squad. But first, what's your favorite color and why?
Hi, Scott. Thank you. It's so good to be here with you.
Yay!
Of course, my favorite color is blue.
You're rocking it now.
You know what? I love blue. I love water. I just love the color. Why? I just love it. It just makes me feel good.
It's not getting too cold yet. But like my interviewees that are from the north or the cold series, like I live on the Atlantic, I'm blessed, and I'm looking at the ocean. That's my favorite color too, so and it's like year round. So Christine, let's get a little bit to the origins. You have a pretty solid story. I read your about page and checked out some YouTube stuff and whatnot, but can we get to the origins of where you kind of started and then brought you forward to being a coach of millionaires, billionaires, and leaders?
Well, you know what? I started in Seattle as the fifth of 6 kids, although I did find out later that there was a kid that happened before my family. I didn't know that. I had a half brother, which is pretty exciting. He's also a coach of leaders. It's amazing, and is in the Seattle area.
Family.
I grew up in an abusive home. I grew up with 3 abusers in my home, so it was kind of hell. But I got through it by being an overachiever and being a lifelong learner. I lived in the library. And at some point in my adult life, I worked with a coach. And it was such an impactful experience after, I did all sorts of counseling work, but I worked with a coach and it was transformative. So I decided I want to study this. And when I retired at age 53, I said, I'm going to study coaching. I just want to see what that's about.
Okay.
And I want to show up the way my coach showed up for me, for the people in this chapter of my life. And darn if I didn't have to start a business because people started referring people to me to coach. So that's how I got started.
I love it. So then let me cut right to the chase. What makes a great coach?
Okay. A good coach might have, some information for you. People often think coaches are supposed to have the answers, but the most excellent coaches are really great at connecting with you and asking the right questions to help you generate your own answers that are brilliant and perfect for you, that you're so much more likely to execute on.
Thank you for saying that, because I'm not like some people are a coach and consultant. The people that I coach, they've forgotten more about business than I'll probably ever know. And I'm a coach. Like you just said, the problem resides within them, but so does the answer. And the powerful questions and attentive listening it gets them through. And that's why I love, I don't even call myself a coach sultan. A lot of people will call them that, where I'm just a straight coach. We build a game plan to get through. So thank you for answering it that way. That's exactly what I think a great coach is. Thank you. Yay. We're like brothers.
Yeah.
From
Well, and
another,
it's
or
not
sisters
just
from
what
different.
we think. I mean, it's
Yeah.
what the evidence has shown. There have been numerous independent verified studies that show
Yes.
that coaching as a methodology is transformative for people.
Right. And so many people will take more action on something that they feel that they've came up with. You know what I'm saying? It's so true. Because if you feed them something, it doesn't work, like, damn it, Ferguson, that didn't work. But if they come up with it, they're going to push hard until it works. So thank you for saying that. So when you're starting maybe in a discovery period with someone that's one-on-one, because I know you do both one-on-one and groups, because I vetted you out. But if you're working with someone kind of one-on-one, Christine, is there any secret sauce that you don't mind sharing with us that maybe helps them find their initial blind spot?
Yes. So one of the first things to do is go deeper, 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 deeper. It's let's get behind that question. And when you have an answer to the, what you want to do, whatever it is, let's go deeper. What's behind that? And what's behind that? And what's behind that?
Yes.
And what's behind that? And we're going to get down to the very root of whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, achieve, or whatever it is that's holding you back.
Love that. And it's like an onion, like the cliche, layer at a time, you peel it. So maybe when you're starting to work with a prospect and they might eventually turn into a client, because I'll tell you, I give everybody a free hour of power and I talk and I really dig deep into them. Like you said, go deeper, 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 unpack. Is you're maybe in a discovery conversation, is there any good question that maybe you wish that they would ask you but never do?
Ooh, I do a lot of the asking.
Right.
What I love is when prospective clients ask me, what's my ROI going to be?
Ooh. Yeah, and it doesn't even have to mean money, right?
No, but you know what? Then I get to coach them about how to prove the ROI.
Ooh.
And how to justify coaching, because when you invest in coaching, if you don't get a positive return on investment, you're not working with a good coach.
Nope, exactly.
And if I guarantee ROI from my clients. I guarantee that I will give them their money back if they don't get a positive ROI. I haven't had anybody that I've had to give money back to yet.
I can see that. I can 100%, because you just seem like such an intent listener. Even while I'm asking these questions, you're pausing, you're responding instead of reacting. And that's just the epitome of, the start of a great coach, So what do you think then your strengths are in coaching?
I think that connecting with the client is a strength. Creating that safe space.
Ooh, yeah, there we go.
Because it's in that coaching relationship that we have this, like a cocoon almost, for this transformation to happen. And if there's rips in the cocoon, it's not going to work. So you got to have a real safe space for a leader. And I don't care, if they're 77 years old or 27 years old.
Sure.
They need a place where they can show up and know that the coach is 100% for them.
Yes.
And never in a place of judgment. Because they're exploring, they're thinking, and they're creating, and they're coming up with amazing solutions for themselves. And they need that trusting relationship to be able to do that.
I love that you made the analogy of a cocoon, Okay. So I have to introduce you to my good friend Meg Nasro. She wrote the book Butterflies and Bliss. Fantastic coach in Miami. And I'm going to make that coach. So that connection, Meg. So if you're listening, be ready for Christine for the connection. She's good friends with Oprah and like all these people. It's just fantastic. So how about your weaknesses as a coach? Where do you find yourself working on yourself the most?
Well, probably thinking I know the answer.
And sometimes you want to tell it to them.
I do.
Right?
Or I honest, let me just be legit. I've worked with a lot of people and I've gotten a lot of information and so staying out of, oh, I know the answer into really listening and diving deeper and helping them to discover the answer
I love
is
it.
a challenge.
You want to tell them sometimes, don't you? Like
and
it's there.
right? And I'll say, oh my gosh, hold on a second. I need to come back to you because I
Right.
just had a thought and I'm going to save that later. I may share it if you ask me, but let me just, focus again on what that thing is that, together and to
Love
let
it.
that little thought go away.
Love it. So, Christine, if I'm at a networking event, which I'm actually kind of an introvert, believe it or not, but like when I go to networking events, I try to get people one-on-one. Okay. And I'm more interested in hearing their story than telling them mine. So if they're telling me their story, what might they say to make them a good referral for you?
Oh, well, I have two different companies. So a good referral for Christine Rose Coaching and Consulting is I keep losing people. I have a revolving door.
Okay.
Because I love to help people with identifying what it is that would make somebody an amazing fit for a role.
Yes.
And I actually have an assessment that's 97.7% repeat score reliable that I use to help people find the right person who's going to love that role. But the other reason why people leave is because that leader has to do some culture work.
Okay.
People join because they love your mission and they love what you do, but they leave because of people.
Yes,
and
they
so
do.
there's some culture work to do, and I have some really great toolbox for having conversations that will bring your team together, create that esprit de corps, help your team have the owner's mindset. And so those are great. That's
Love
a great
it.
thing that people
You
would say.
bet. You were like spot on with that answer. A lot of people don't come back with that. You told, listen, man, I'm losing people. What am I doing wrong in a sense? To level up the culture. So, it's funny, like you found out later in life that you had a half brother. I found out when I was 34. I'm 50 now, but when I was 34, I found out I had a twin sister. And we met, right? And she was like, I've been a real estate broker since I got out of the military in 1998, right? And she was a real estate broker in New Jersey. It's like crazy. Now you said your half brother's a coach. You and I are like brothers and sisters from different misters, man. That's awesome. So, have you seen the movie Back to the Future?
The original one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, let's get in that DeLorean with Marty McFly. All right, let's go back to the double deuce, the 22-year-old Christine. We're not going to change anything, okay? Because you had some tough times with life and abuse and stuff. But let's go to 22-year-old Christine. What kind of knowledge nuggets might you drop on her to maybe shorten her learning curve, blast through, and maybe level up just a little quicker?
Oh, not just for her, but for any 22-year-old.
Yeah.
I would say take 100% responsibility for your life. Yes. Own it 100%. It doesn't matter what you've been through,
sure.
what you've, suffered through. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it's been good or bad. The future that you create is 100% up to you. You may not control the circumstances of your life, but you are always in control of your response, and you can put yourself in choice, and you can create a much better future for yourself than you even can imagine.
What is your definition of responsibility?
Oh, it is to take ownership,
There you go. Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
It's to take ownership and to use your ability to respond.
Dude, thank you. My coach, since I hired a coach, believe it or not, when I got out of the military, and I still work with her to this day. And she said, Scott, responsibility is key. That's the number one thing you said, and any person that walks this earth. And she said, responsibility is the ability to respond. It's rooted right in the word, not react, but to respond to things and build your. I love that. I love it. So, Christine, how do you want your dash remembered? That little line in between your incarnation date and your expiration date. Hopefully, it's a long ways down the road. But how do you want on that tombstone that dash remembered?
Oh my gosh. I want people to think, wow, she was the person who loved God and loved people.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And you do. I can tell. So we'll go another way. What do you think people misunderstand the most about Christine?
Um, once you reach a certain level, I guess, of professional acumen that you're getting attention from people, um, people who haven't reached that level might think, wow, she's ephemeral. She's not she's not real. And she's not like me. I could never be like her. But the truth
Oh,
is that, you know what? I need my sleep. I need my healthy food. I need water. I have to put clothes on in the morning. I mean, I am a human
we
being,
bleed. We
right?
do. We bleed.
And I think that is probably the thing people don't understand. I have friends that I love very dearly, and I can feel a separation from them, and it's not from me. It's been on, like, as I become an author. You know what an author is? Somebody
Sure.
who sits their butt in a chair for countless hours in front
Yeah.
of a computer screen
Yeah.
writing stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a person, right?
Mm,
But it's like the more accolades you pick up, people start to think that you're not like them anymore.
yes. And
And
you get kind of that crab in a bucket kind of thing sometimes too. It's usually the people that love you the most, real genuine love, that crab's trying to climb out, and the rest of them are trying to pull them back, and they don't understand. Like, what are you doing? It's so dangerous out there. I
yeah.
love it. I love it. So, Christine, let's take out of this question anything electronical, like computers or phones or anything we use to communicate. Okay, what are three things that you cannot live without?
Three things I can't
It can
live
be
without.
people, places, or things.
Mm, well, I don't know. I pretty much can live without anything except air, water, and food.
You smart ass. I love it. I
I'm
love it.
like,
It's
I
true.
think
It's true though.
I'm like
I
that.
love it.
Oh, I gotta have those.
Yeah.
But if we assume that my basic needs are met,
Okay.
I'll go with you, Scott. Then what I depend on are my close, loving relationships.
There you go.
And
Community and
I
relationship.
don't know if you know that the Harvard longitudinal study proves that the thing that's the number one predictor of well-being for people are their close relationships.
Uh-huh.
So invest time in those, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
invest time in those to make them good. But they are sustaining and enriching and nourishing, and I
Yeah.
love my close personal relationships. Um, High heels, I gotta have high heels.
Yay. I
I'm
see you
I
rocking high
gotta
heels
have
on
my
stage. I love
I
it.
have to have heels,
Yeah.
because you know what? The research shows that when you're in person with people, if you're tall, you gain some kind of measure of respect.
I
And
give
you
it
can't
that.
help but
Yeah. Absolutely.
internal, it's like wired into us, right? That's that we like why are so many presidents are so tall.
Right.
But I never have any political aspirations. That would be I'm not
Me
I'm not
neither.
going in that
Me
road.
neither.
And the third thing, oh my gosh, it's probably my decaf lattes. I
There you
gotta
go.
have them.
I love it.
I
My
live
third
on.
thing's always really good chicken wings. You know, I
Yeah,
have to have I have to have my chicken wings.
I gotta
I
have
love
my
it.
decaf latte.
I love it. So what would be your definition of a life well lived?
Oh, for me, I call it the good life.
Mhm.
And every year I create my like map for my good life this year. And it changes from year to year. So it kind of is a life where I am pursuing bucket list things that I would love to do, where I'm contributing in
Mm,
ways I want to contribute, and where I'm learning in ways I want to learn.
always leveling up the learning. Yeah.
Yeah. And those change from year to year.
I love it. Do you ever just go to a library and chill?
I love libraries.
Me too.
I
Me
totally
too.
love. I'm
I'll bring
very
my own books
comfortable in
sometime into a
libraries.
library just to be around it. Like I found an escape in a library as well when I was younger.
Yeah.
So I love that you do that. I love that. Time to Shine Today podcast, Varsity Squad. We are back, and Christine, you and I are going to rock some stages one day. I just see it and connect, and I can't wait to pick your brain on some stuff. But I'm going to ask you some questions, and we'll probably talk 15, 20 minutes on each one of these questions at one time. But today, you have 5 seconds to answer them with no explanations, and they can all be answered that way. You ready to level up?
Ready.
Let's do it. Christine, what is the best leveling up advice you've ever received?
Take 100% responsibility for your life.
Love it. Share one of your personal habits that contributes to your success.
5 seconds. Think.
There you go. That's enough. So you see me walking down the street. Fergie looks like he is in his doldrums a little bit. Other than the books you've authored, what book might you hand me to level me up?
The Leadership Dojo by Richard Strauss Heckler.
Someone else just said that to me. I have to pick it up. Thank you for saying that. Christine, what's your most commonly used emoji when you text?
Smiley face.
Beautiful. Nicknames growing up?
Chrissy.
All right. Chess, checkers, or Monopoly?
Monopoly.
Me too. Go-to ice cream flavor?
Mocha almond fudge.
I love it. So you have a sandwich named after you, the Chrissy Rose. Okay. Build that sandwich for me. What's on it?
Sourdough bread,
Okay.
avocado mayo, turkey breast that has no chemicals and has no prebiotics and like chemical-free turkey,
Sure.
avocado, bacon, tomato.
Ooh, man candy. Love it.
I gotta have bacon.
Beautiful. Gotcha. Yeah. Favorite charity and or organization you like to give your time or money to?
Urban business support.
Okay. Beautiful. Last question. You can elaborate on this one a little bit, but what is the best decade in music? 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s?
Yeah. Probably 80s.
80s, me too. I love the big hair. Don't get so much happened in the 80s. I graduated in 1990, so it was like that was my decade of growing up, and it truly was a decade of decadence. It was just like over everything.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What else do I need to say?
Oh, I know. And the thing is, you had all these one-namers like Michael, Madonna, Prince, right? Huge. And then you had the invasions of like U2 and Duran Duran and Men at Work, and then you had the comeuppance of rap, right, with Run DMC and Beastie Boys, and then you had your Big Hair Don't Care, your glam bands,
Salt and Pepper.
Yes, you had everything in that decade, and that's why I always say if I could take a time machine just to hang out for a day, it'd be like the 80s, probably like 1986 or something. It's beautiful. So, how can we find you, Miss Christine?
You can find me at www.cocoon, coachchristinerose.com
Okay.
and at www.ceoaccel.com.
Okay. Gotcha. And so I know that this might not drop before Christine's mastermind, but I'm sure she'll have other ones going forward. Everybody out there will have gotten an email from my team regarding this. But on October 12th, you have the CEO mastermind experience, 8 ways to increase value in your business. I know that's happening on October 12th at 22. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on there?
Yeah, so this is exciting. We're going to bring CEOs from across the country all onto a virtual meeting for some networking time, but also for addressing what is it that increases the value of your company in terms of like, what's your valuation now and how do we raise that by 71%? Let's talk about it.
I love that. I love it. And you have the skills to help them get in there. That's beautiful. And also, squad, she's written this fantastic book we're gonna talk about here. Life Beyond #MeToo, creating a safer world for our mothers, daughters, sisters, and friends. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the book you offer. And if you're watching on video, their beautiful self is holding up the book. But tell us a little bit about that, please.
I'm really excited about this book. It isn't like my sob story. It's not about that. It's a coaching book. I'm a coach. It's a coaching book. We are wired and mired in this problem of half the world having challenges with violence and nobody taking responsibility for it. So we call the Me Too movement a response to people sharing what they've been through, that either in the workplace or out of the workplace. And we don't know, okay, how do we get there? What really happened? How do we get there? And how do we get out of that so that we have a world that's safe for everyone? Right now, the number that 1 in 5 students that go to female students that go to college or university is going to leave having been a rape victim is a legit statistic. So reading the book, working through, there's questions at the end of every chapter. There's a lot of stuff for business owners in here about how to take responsibility to create safety in your culture.
Beautiful.
And how to support change in the marketplace. And there have been some changes, so that's good. But the pandemic was devastating to females in so many ways. So I actually did a new revised edition. The book was recognized as a 2021 award-winning finalist for top new nonfiction by the International Book Awards, and I highly recommend people pick it up.
Gotcha. All right. And squad, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a free book giveaway. Anyone that puts Chrissy Rose, just put that in any responses on any social. I don't care if it's Pinterest. I don't care if it's Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Anyone puts that, I'm going to purchase a book, and my friend Christina is going to sign it and send it out to you. She's also has a first edition book that she's going to I'm blessed that she's going to give that away. So if whoever puts in first edition into any of the social, I'll make sure that you get that book signed by my good friend Chrissy as well. And one more thing that we need to cover here, the CEO Accelerator, or is it the CEO Accelerator or CEO Excel?
CEO Excel.
Okay, sorry. And talk to us a little bit about that.
Oh, I'm super excited to be offering a new company, a membership organization for CEOs with $1 million+ revenues.
Okay.
And don't worry if you're not at $1 million yet, because 10% of the revenue from this business is going to mentor minority and women business owners to help them get to $1 million. Okay. Because less than 4% of female business owners hit $1 million revenue. So CEO Excel is a membership for CEOs where they can connect with each other. Imagine LinkedIn with no spamming, no unwanted connection requests, and a way to direct message to anybody in there, because you have to be interviewed to be in the organization. You have to be a membership. You can't just join. You have to be interviewed. And then you're getting coaching, value builder platform from John Warlow, consulting, and a mastermind group where it takes 90 minutes and you're in the hot seat every month. So it's like bringing the best of 3 different things together into
Bring
one
it out.
membership.
Leveling it up.
Exciting.
I absolutely love that. And Christine, please do me one last solid and leave us with one last knowledge nugget we can internalize, take action on, and just and level up with.
Oh, for a general audience, what I would say is let your advanced worrying become advanced thinking and planning.
Oh my gosh.
That's from Winston Churchill.
Advanced thinking and planning. Wow, that is.
Stop worrying, start thinking and planning.
I love it, because I always throw out I've seen this quote before, and I can't believe I don't use it more. But when Mark Twain said, so many things I worried about, like maybe none of them actually happened. I'm paraphrasing there, absolutely. But squad, we have just had a fun conversation and a ton of knowledge nuggets, and basically a masterclass with my good friend Christine Rose, who grew up, in an abusive home. We didn't dig deep in that. That's not what we're here to do here at Time to Shine today. But she got through it by setting high standards, and she began her lifelong learning life. Fantastic. So she'll tell you that a coach is going to provide an impactful experience, make it a transformative experience. A great coach shows up. A great coach does not really have the answers. They might, but they're not going to tell you that. They're going to connect you with the right questions. And remember, the problem or whatever you're dealing with is inside you. You also have the answers there. And that's what someone like my good friend Christine can get out of you. She's going to have you go deeper. What's beyond that? She's going to have you keep unpacking that like an onion, to get down to the root of things. Ask your coach, what is your ROI going to be? Whether you're being coached about money or about emotions, ask them what the coach really sees the track with you getting there. She believes in connecting with her clients, creating that safe space like a cocoon so you can bloom into that beautiful butterfly. And you can only do that with trust. And Christina's just planting trees that she's never going to sit in the shade of. And I love being, collaborating and being connected to someone like Christine. If you're a business leader or a CEO out there and you're like, man, I'm losing people, let me put you in touch with Christine, because she's going to make sure your culture is on point. She wants you to take 100% responsibility for your future. And if you are stuck in something, like my good friend Leah Woodford would say, get your asking gear, ask the right people. She's going to remember it as someone that loved God, loved people. She creates this fantastic map, knowing that it's changing. She levels up her bucket list. She levels up her contributions. She's always, again, goes back to learning. She's always learning. She reminds us from Winston Churchill. I'm going to paraphrase a little bit on this, but let advanced worrying become your advanced thinking and planning. So worrying you can't do shit about, excuse my language, but if you can think and you can align yourself with someone like Christine that will help you get past those worries and bring out the best in you, then please let me make a warm introduction. Christine levels up her health. She levels up her wealth. She's humble. Yes, she's hungry. She's earned her varsity letter here at Time to Shine today. Thank you so much for coming on, Christine. I absolutely love your guts.
Thank you so much, Scott. It has been my great pleasure.
Yay! I'll chat soon. Bye now.
Hey, thanks so much for listening to this episode of Time to Shine Today podcast. Proudly brought to you by Sutter & Nugent Real Estate Excellence, who can be reached at 561-249-7266 and online at www.sutterandnugent.com. If you are a business owner or professional who would like to be interviewed on Time to Shine Today, please visit timetoshinetoday.com/guest. If you like this episode, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts. There's a link in the show notes to our website. Also there, you will see our recommended resources. We hope that you will support our show by supporting them. If you like what you've been listening to, it'd be great if you could just give us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe while you're at it. I'm your host, Scott Ferguson, and until next time, let's level up. It's our time to shine.